And we are on YouTube. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Extra Connections. I am James Lott Jr., your host here on JLJ Media. And I like to connect to people, places, and things. And these folks, they're not things, they're people. So we're going to talk to them about why they're here, what's going on, and why you may know their voices. So here we go. I'm going to start. I have introductions for each of them. We're going to do this. But while you're waiting for that, please subscribe to this channel. Please. And thank you. Subscribe to the channel, JLJ Media. The button's down here somewhere. I don't know where it is, but it's somewhere down here. Please subscribe to it and like me. Like the channel. Thank you. Okay. So there's a reason why we're doing this. We're talking about some of the leading men of my shows, my audio shows. Almost a year ago, I started this as an online channel. I started doing this all of a sudden. Some networks that I was part of closed or went on hiatus. And I chose to pick up the slack. And then a little less than a year ago, we decided to start doing something that was COVID safe, and that was audio dramas. And the first one we did, my papers, make sure everything's in order. It's called Forever in a Day. And that one is our soap opera. It's in its second season. It's doing very, very well. And one of the guys on here is one of my favorite characters. I always say that all the time. My favorite. He's the put upon Colin Harper. And he also has joined us for Claus The Series as Sawyer Claus, Quinn Van Antwerp. Hi, Quinn.
Hi, everybody.
Thank you. Our second audio drama is the first created by myself. I decided to take a regular situation and throw them in a Hallmark movie. And this person is one of the leads on that show, Mistletoe Road, which did very well for us at Christmas. And we'll be back for a second season at Christmas 2021. So he plays Darrell Light, man of few words, on that show. But he also will play the same character on our upcoming spinoff, Peppermint Winters. He also plays Jafari Dearborn on my other series, Dinner at Mama's. And he is the writer, creator, and co-producer of the upcoming series, Take the Wheel, Flobo Boyce.
Hey, what's going on? How's it going? I feel so famous. Thank you.
Everybody a proper introduction. Then my third series, which is currently on now through June, it took me 20 of these people to find the one person. He's one of the early guys that I met, but he's the 20th person who didn't creep me out when he played Santa. My third series is called Claus The Series. We took Santa Claus and gave him some problems. And I'm just so happy that he is here. And he's also going to be on an upcoming project. We're working on something right now. We may play a dual role. We're doing that right now. We're doing opposite himself. It is Mr. Dave Moxley.
Hey, how's it going, James?
My fourth series, which is out now. Tonight was the season finale. It was crazy. 8 episodes. It happened that fast. It was really, I feel like we just recorded it and then it's done. But he plays Cupid in Cupids Crossing. And it's going to be, he also is going to show up as crossover in several episodes of Grown Up Adventure of the Tooth Fairy. And he'll be starring as Iz in Flobo Boyce's short story, Iz and Izzy.
Is this in the building? Oh my goodness.
It's like down there, you're going to meet for the first time. He has my first name, James Lott.
Whatever.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
Hey,
hello.
what's up?
Hope everybody's doing well.
And hi, folks in the chat room. And last but not least, a series that will be debuting on Easter. Well, actually, it's going to debut April Fool's Day, April 1st. It's our Easter horror series. It's called The Easter Hare. And so he stars as Inspector Peter Cotton. And we already recorded several episodes, and we've killed some friends of ours. It's very interesting doing this. And he plays the role so good. He's so good in this. And his hasn't even aired yet. So he has a whole new perspective. Mr. Micheal Norberg. Hi, Michael.
Hi.
So, gentlemen, hello. And it feels very strange for me because it feels like, like I said, it's like my life before me all of a sudden. I mean, it's the first 5 series of my life are right here, right in front of me. It's crazy talk. So I first want to thank each of you actually for doing such a great job on all your shows that you do for me. So thank you.
The men in your life.
Well, it's easy to do when you have such a fun person to work with, you know.
Agreed.
Well, thank you. I tried.
Man, Dave sounds so velvety, man. Like he's like, hey, what's up?
Oh, Dave's the bomb. Oh, Dave's the bomb.
Yeah, man.
It's the equipment. It has nothing to do with the sound of my voice. It's the equipment. It's filters. It's everything. It's not me.
Mhm.
He's great about that. So okay, so now I want to ask each of you kind of. I know some, obviously some of the stories, obviously, but there's one I don't really know that well. So I'm gonna start with you, Quinn.
Yeah.
How did you get involved in Forever and a Day? I don't really know how. All of a sudden you were there, so I don't know how you got involved.
Oh man, a few years ago, a friend of mine did a web series by a former writer of Forever and a Day, Carolina Sivas.
Yes,
And I met her at a shoot. I like stopped by to pick him up between shows. We were doing Jersey Boys on Broadway at the time, and he was doing that web series. And I met her, and she was super fun and cool, and always had like a new idea and a new project. And so, out of the blue during quarantine, she texts me, and she's like, "I don't know if you're interested in this, but there's this great new audio drama." And I loved it. I auditioned and I got the part, and it was just like the start of something unexpected and new. And I have to kind of admit that I have never really listened or seen any soap operas. So I was a newbie, and I've had a crash course over the last year or so as we've done season 1 and now 2, which is just premiering at the moment.
So I have to say, I'm also in that series, Broken at Love. Carolina Sivas.
Yeah.
I'm in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
series also. I'm in it also.
Oh, good.
Great chick. Love her. Great chick. She's good. She's good.
Yeah.
She's talented. From USC. She's talented. She was also my seatmate, and when I won my award 2 years ago at the Council where she sat next to me.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, she was sitting next to me. She was nominated also for lead actress and all stuff. And we were sitting next to each other. We were like, they sat us together. I'm like, I know her, and she was like next to us.
Yeah.
Small world. Yes, Forever and a Day is a soap opera, folks. So people out there who are thinking, what is an audio drama? People ask me that all the time. It's not quite an audiobook. It's not quite a podcast. It's not video. It's an actual story or stories audio.
Yeah.
Some of my folks are like, they don't know what that means. I'm like, no, it's someone acting out a story for you. You just can't see them.
And what I love about Forever and a Day is that, the soap opera genre began as an audio drama, like as a radio drama. And so it's not some sort of new medium. It's a return to an old medium. And it works really well. It's really fun. It's very dramatic. And I find them like super interesting to listen to at all hours of the day, whether you're cleaning or driving or whatever you're doing. It's amazing. It's amazing find.
Now, Dave, you're the only one of the group who has to use an accent or a voice the whole time. And you're so good at it. I just want to know, I always wanted to ask you, because I found you on Craigslist, James on Craigslist, Michael on Craigslist. I've known Flobo Boyce and knows about that in a second. But with you, Dave, what has it been like you having to be in character and I give you these like regular, ridiculous dialogue? How's that been for you?
It's not too far away from my actual voice, so I mean, I don't have to stretch it that much. But and quite frankly, I don't even know what my real voice sounds like anymore. I've done so many character voices over the years, and just not for like performing much, just because I didn't have any friends growing up, and I made up my own voices. It's just it wasn't that hard to go right here with it. It was just up a little bit and pulled back into the back of my throat. So I mean, it was it's one of those great things you can do with your voice if you know how to.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know he's good. He does all these voices. Isn't that crazy? But because when you do the Santa voice, because you interviewed me, you did the Santa voice, and we were not doing a recording, we were doing your show. I just like freaked out. It's so funny to hear you do the Santa voice because it is a Santa voice. Like it's a Santa voice.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, you just picture a big guy with rosy cheeks and a red nose, and you go, "Hey there, Tommy or Timmy or Billy or whoever you are." He's just, and it just came there, and it's a lot easier to do it in front of people here on Zoom because you can actually see who you're speaking to, and the timing is there, and the mood is set, and that's what makes it so much easier to do. And it's just kind of like, okay, well, you wait for the other person to stop talking, and then you see how you would react to that. Like, Carl, put that down. It's just, you're fired. It's just whatever. And I enjoy it anyway. And I love an audience, and I love the sound of my own voice. So that's why I do this. So.
That's perfect. That's totally perfect.
Right.
Now, James. So I found you on Craigslist. Or sorry, I found you like we were just hanging out. But I mean, we find each other on Craigslist, and I was like, "You're just hanging out on Craigslist one day," and it's like, "There he is, get him." I saw your reel. I thought it was really good. When you applied for it, did you know what like an audio drama was? Like, did you even like get an idea?
Well, actually, I didn't apply for it. My manager did.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Eric did. So he just said, "Hey, there's this audio series," and he kind of explained it to me. So I was okay. He explained to me. I was like, "All right, that sounds like fun." Plus the part he told me about Cupid, I was like, "Ooh, I am like a living Cupid. I'm like all about love and peace, and oh my God, amor." So I was like, "Oh, this would be perfect for me." So two and two just came together. It was like destiny, I guess.
And Flobo loves Valentine's Day, so he's very happy.
It's true. It's true. It's my second favorite holiday of the year.
He's very happy with that. And Micheal, we haven't even aired yet or whatever. So when I talked to you, we had a Zoom and you were down there, we were talking stuff, and I mentioned the character. So after I told you about the character and you're like, "Yeah, I'll do it." What were you thinking? But now we've done it. What were you thinking?
Well, I mean, I kind of feel like, the audience, being that I was only given so much information at a time, it really kind of forces you to explore that character sort of in sync with the story. If you don't know what's going to happen, every new twist and plot turn and jump scare is just as scary to you. So, it was a fascinating story concept, sounded like a cool character to play, and it's a great deal of fun so far.
Yeah, all of you guys have that. You guys are like, this is like television. We don't tell you what you don't get the whole season of scripts. You're getting them as you go along. So that's what folks understand. That's how it's done in real life too. You don't get everything in life.
I've been listening along to Forever and a Day, and there's episodes that I'm not in, and I'm like, what? They didn't. And they recorded them 2 months ago. I'm just in the dark.
Yes. Now, Flobo Boyce. So you're my friend. Yeah, it's you. You're my friend. We do lots of things together, and I roped you in. So far, you've done several things on, So how do you feel so far doing this? That's why I made you come into this world of audio drama.
That's a great thing, because like I had a colleague in film school that did it. His name was Casey Wayland, and he did a zombie thing called We're Alive. So I was aware of the format, but then James like, "Hey man, I got this thing about Mistletoe Road," and I was like, "Look man, my voice is terrible. Why would you want? You can go to Craigslist for some dope actors, right? Why would you want me?" And it was funny. I did it. I basically read it, and almost what Dave was saying. Like once I got the second offer, it was like, "Oh wow, I'm doing another character." Well, that character can't be that character. And I started to like try different inflections, not like different voices, but different inflections of how like Darrell likes a kid. So he's like, "Hey there, I love reindeers and ginger loaf." Whereas Jafari is a guy who has money. He goes, "I worked really hard to do what I do." It's like, it's so cool to be these different. I mean, I can't change my voice, but I can definitely say, "Hey, look, a character would say this," or use his words or use inflections. So it's been a trip. I get to know more about me as an entertainer. I came from stand-up comedy. So act outs are almost like a miniature sketches of doing voices, but you can basically like do a caricature of a character and people will get it. Like everyone knows a surfer voice or a Karen voice or a dummy voice, but like now you're actually doing a 3-dimensional character in this world. And so that was kind of like the challenge part.
Flobo, you should consider yourself lucky, and I would keep an eye out, because the personal friends that James has brought into at least the series that we're working on right now have all ended up a bloody mess on the floor. So just
yeah, what's next?
They asked for it. They want to be killed. They said they wanted to be killed.
Officer.
They said they wanted to. They wanted to kill. Tammy said, "I want to get killed. Please kill me." So I killed her. I didn't like it. I had to kill Tammy Govea.
Oh, poor Tammy.
We've all worked with. So Dave, I just gave you a challenge for an upcoming show to play opposite yourself and 2 different characters. Do you think you can do it?
I'm gonna give it a shot. And I think I can do it. That schizophrenia comes in handy. Everyone's on the MPD, multiple personality disorder. So I think it'll be okay. And I talk to myself all the time. This time I'll be answering.
And then James on our show, Cupids Crossing, we did add some Spanglish in there, and that was kind of something and I gave you guys the freedom to add different things in there, and words. That was kind of, it's very interesting. So James, would you ever be open to doing an all Spanish series?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Spanish is it's my paternal language, so I'm very comfortable with it. I have no problems with it. And actually, I like Spanish because unlike English, you could play with the words and make them more affectionate and tender and stuff like that. You could get more romantic and passionate with Spanish and just have like more emotion with it rather than English. It's a little bit more stale compared to Spanish. You know, Spanglish is a more language of like love, really. So yeah, I'd be open for it for sure.
Yeah, I think I'm working on something, so we're gonna add.
As a Gringo Moreno, I have to agree.
Love it. I'm half Latino, so okay, so I would ask you guys, the ones who've already have series out there, have you listened to any of your stuff?
Have we listened to our own shows?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, because some folks don't listen to their own work. Some folks say, I don't watch my own work. I don't listen to my own work.
I just want to make sure it was good enough to, tell people about it. Did I do a good enough job? So I don't want to tell people about it if it sucked. So, I mean, that's the whole thing right there, because you've got to promote yourself in some way. You want to do it like, okay, do I want to look good or I want to look bad? Okay, no, you can listen to episode 3, but not 5. Okay.
I have actually skimmed my stuff. Mistletoe Road. I have not sat there and listened to I'll listen to it, but as soon as my voice shows up, whoop. Track. I'm not quite there yet. Again, my voice is terrible. I mean, it's different when I'm like passionate about sports.
I know.
I can't stand it. I sound like a kid being strangled. But I have not yet listened to. I listened to the soundtrack, other scenes.
Exactly.
Kids being strangled. There's an audience. It's called Easter Hare, season 2.
Yeah.
I think everybody at first is a little bit scared. How does that
nervous?
Yeah, like nervous and a hard critic on themselves about their own voice. I was the same way. I hated my voice. But then I was like, I just told myself one day, you know what? It's never gonna change.
Right.
I'm stuck with it. So I'm just gonna learn to love it and just be confident about it. And the crazy part is that I got really confident to the point that I started like sending audio messages to girls. So like instead of text messages. And they would always compliment me. They say, oh my gosh, you got such a nice voice. But I think it was just because I'm confident with my voice now. And I love it. So I think.
You said send messages to girls with your voice?
Yeah. They'll respond. You get a higher respond rate for sure. And if you're extra confident, send like videos like, oh yeah, mamacita. And like get all flirty with it.
You love?
Oh my God, I love it. Well, because you never know. You work on a project. I've done a few in the past, and you're like, "Oh, it sounds great," and then you see it, and it's not the greatest.
Right.
So I do understand it. Hopefully, my stuff is decent. I stand by it. So I mean, it's halfway decent. So for you, Micheal, what are you looking forward to? Because so far we've done several episodes of the season. We're gonna film our last couple episodes this week. Not fast, like it's that fast as happening. So what are you looking forward to?
What I'm looking forward to? I want to know who did it. I want to know who. I want to know why. I want to know what the motive was. I want to know where the bodies are.
Yeah, they're buried. Yes, that's true. We talked about that in the trailer. He buries the bodies.
Oh, good. Okay, all right.
No, he does. Those are the trailer. He buries the bodies like eggs. He buries the bodies. Yes. And you may get an answer, you may not. You follow our shows. We do cliffhangers, and Quinn knows this. Flobo knows this. They all do cliffhangers.
I think there's one right now though. Michael's got like old timey like typewriter behind him. He's like full detective at this moment.
He's like, I want to know who killed him.
What? Shatner?
Like the light.
The Maker's Light.
Michael is good. Michael.
Who is it?
Who are you? November 2nd.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Jesus.
No, Michael's good. No, Michael does a great job. We have a great actress, Christine Hauer, who's really good, plays Alethea. She's good. She's really good. We have a great officer, Toron is good, and We have a really good. See, he rivals Dave, and we're going to have them in a show together. I'm writing a show. He plays our Leprechaun, Mr. Ian DeLeon. He's really good. His accent, and he literally. I have to send him the script separately, and he actually rogues it up. That's where I don't know how I can put it. And he actually adds that into the scripts, and he's really good. He's really good. So yeah, so I'm thinking about something. There's a fan suggests I should something with Santa and the Leprechaun. So I'm writing something right now to see. It's gonna be like a voice off. I have this idea.
Did you see that?
Nice.
We'll see.
So James mentioned kind of what he got out of this so far a little bit, and I want to know from each of you what are some surprising things or some things that have come out of this for you since you've done these and these have aired. And I'll start with you, Dave, because you actually got a friendship out of it and a whole show. Which
I mean, I got a friend, I got a show, I got an assistant, I got an editor. I mean, come on, it's ridiculous. I don't know if you guys know Richard, who plays the waiter Jackie on some of the series. James is probably sliding him into every one of the other shows.
Yes, I have.
But I noticed Richard one night when he was playing Jackie the waiter. And he just came up here with his just super happy voice, and here you go, Santa. I'm like it was kind of like listening to a cross between Rick Dees and Casey Kasem, and I was just like, I got to talk to this guy, And I called him up, and or I actually told him to hang on a Zoom meeting one night. I was like, look, I said, I think we need to talk and like get a show going here, and it's so funny because we both sound so similar. But, my expression's a little bit different than his. He's a little bit, on the other side of it. But the tone and the pitch and everything's kind of the same. And my girlfriend was like, I don't know if I can do this because I don't know who I'm laying next to at night because it's just weird. I mean, I hear you, but I see Richard and vice versa. I'm just kind of like, but I got a really good friend. He lives in Pennsylvania, and we've both had prospective vacation spots. So if we ever go see one another, if this COVID ever ends, and another cast or person that James had selected to be on one of his cast, I accidentally bumped into her on Craigslist when I was looking for an assistant, and it's Noelle Hall, and she was one of James' cast people too. I was like, or actors, excuse me. I was like, this is too weird. I mean, it's all coming together. And then her friend Eden, who's also in Pennsylvania, I'm like, okay, we got 2 people in Pennsylvania, 2 people in LA. We have a show that goes, everywhere, interviewing people from Louisiana, Florida, Texas, South Carolina, LA. It's just like, it's fun. It's kept me busier than I want to be, for sure, because I still have a regular job that I have to do. So.
Tell folks what you do. That little tiny job that you do. Tell folks
that little tiny job. I work in the operating room. I'm a surgical tech. I've been doing it for about 28 years. I did it in the military. Then I got out and said, well, I guess I'll just keep doing it since I know how to do it. And then, the voice acting and the radio stuff and podcasts, I've all come much later. So it's definitely a change from what it used to be, for sure.
So he saves lives, and he plays Santa. That's what he does for a living.
I mean, the question has to be asked: have you ever spoken to a patient coming out of surgery in a voice? I mean,
absolutely. I was waiting for that one. Yeah. And it's actually funny because when they're going to sleep, we give them medication to go to sleep and propofol, and then while they're going to sleep, I'm like, is the room flowing? And they look at me, I'm like, I'm just messing with you. And they just like oh my God. It's kind of fun.
Savage. I love it.
I just want to say, Casey Hutchison, who actually led me this direction, is in the chat room. He's the one who came with me with this idea about Forever in a Day, the original script, and said, James, I have this idea. And I was like, what the fuck? So then I read his original script. I loved it. And then I said, let's try this and see what we had no idea what we were doing. And so he's in the chat. So hello to Casey. This is the reason why I'm this direction. Hello, Casey.
Is that one of those cheese and cracker moments?
Cheese and crack. Yes, cheese. God bless American cheese and crackers.
Oh, you guys know about that too, huh? Whew.
Yes, I can't cuss on television all the time. I had to think of things for the fans when I say cheese and crackers. Cheese and crackers. And I get hungry and have cheese and crackers. I'm lactose intolerant.
Oh no.
So it's crazy. Yes. So okay. Now Flobo, what have you gotten out of this so far? I mean, because we're working together and some other stuff too, but like, what have you got out of doing this?
I think one, appreciate for the writing craft. I've been writing since I would say professionally since 2008, and a lot of times you have the things in your head, bro, and writing something and hearing people say it are two different things. And you may think in your mind that you get how people does the talking, but when you have actual human beings saying a word, you go, oh, that wasn't nearly as fly as I thought it was. And I remember when I wrote the original full-length screenplay for Take the Wheel, for it was supposed to be a teleplay, like a Hallmark movie of the week type deal. It had a different kind of tone, but when we said we're making an audio drama, to make that make sense and to make the characters authentic, I had a double take and say, okay, what experiences have I had in this medium and art form? So it's helped me become a better writer. Perhaps sheepishly, I put voice actor on my things now, but yeah, that's always fun. Always fun.
Anything is
You
always
put it
better
on
than
there, not
nothing.
sheepishly. You put it on there. You are a voice actor.
I mean, I do a lot of things too. Not like surgery. I don't do surgery. So when I ask something, it's always like, man, I do a lot. Should I cut one out? Nah. It's a long list of stuff.
It's like having one of those really long initials, like CNN.
Yeah, like James on Twitter. You see his Twitter handles, like James Lott Jr. Alphabet soup.
Astrologer.
I worked hard for all those letters, and number one, you should all know all roads lead back to me. That's what you should all just understand. Every road in your lives now will lead back to James Lott Jr.
There.
So
David's find that out. He's find that out. Dave, I say Dave.
I said even the Yellow Brick Road does.
Follow the Yellow Brick
Road.
Okay, there's
Hey,
James.
I might write a story.
Again.
It's public domain. I could write about it if I wanted to, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm not interested in that story. But Quinn, now you were actually, like I said, you moved to Broadway, all these different things. So what is this experience been brought to you?
Oh man, James. I mean, my experience has been a little like what you were talking about earlier. But when this all hit, have done a lot of live theater, a lot of television in my life, but I was kind of left with this kind of like emptiness of not having a way to do any storytelling. And so when this came along, not only were the people really wonderful, but it just like filled this void in my life of getting to tell stories with other people, to kind of, express the ups and downs of what life is, and to just kind of engage in art in a way that I've never have before, and in kind of the only way that I could right now. And so it's been really, it's been a really wonderful gift to meet this community and to be part of this story. And I've had a wonderful time.
Great. And James, you're also a writer too. You're a writer, and I've read some of your work. Wonderful stuff. Great actor. So how's this been for you so far?
For me, it's been a crazy journey because I only really got into this craft of writing and acting as well. They came hand in hand. Those two things kind of came at the same time. Well, anyway, I've only been in, my mind has been on all this for like about a little over a year. So some people know when they're little kids that like, I want to grow up to be an actor, an actress, or singer. I was just an Uber driver. And I happened to pick up a person that became my acting coach one day. He was my passenger on Uber. And then he said, and he's a producer. He's produced movies, shows. His wife is an international singer. So he's been in show business all his life. I'm talking about my manager, Eric Floyd, who also is my acting coach. Anyway, I was in the Uber. I picked him up, him and his wife. So I was driving. And then for me, it's like a normal ride, like anything else. But he tells me, he's sitting in the back with his wife. He tells me like, hey, you have a really good face. What are you planning to do with it? And I said, what?
Like
what? and then he said, I've been an acting coach for, this, that, and started telling me everything he does. And he said, do you want to try it? And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And then what happened with, so fast forward a little bit later, I started taking private acting classes with him, and it's been amazing. I love this now. There's no plan B for me. Like, this is what I'm going to do with my life. And, regardless of money or being well known or anything like that, it's just, I wake up every day excited, ignited, happy to be doing what I'm doing now. And then the screenplay that I co-wrote with Eric Floyd. We were doing a scene one day. It was a theatrical what do you call it? When there's no lines, you're just going, what is it called? It starts with the M.
I don't know. I'm not an actor really. I was a bad actor.
Okay, well, anyway, it was an exercise. That was acting exercise.
I say scene study exercise.
Scene study, right. Right. I'm still thinking of the word. It's on the tip of my tongue.
You're talking about mime? Like a pantomime?
No, like there's no lines, and you just say, hey, you're gonna be doing this character, you're gonna be doing this character, and you guys just do it. Improv. Fuck.
Oh,
thank you. Jesus. I told you I've only been in this for 1 year. I'd be forgetting the terms. But anyway, so we did this improv exercise, and it came out so well once we were done. We're like, hey, these two characters that we were just doing could be part of something bigger, a bigger story. So we gave them more backstory, more depth, more color and life to these characters. And then we just said, hey, we got this great story. Let's just write it. And then, bam, we wrote a screenplay. And then in my biggest goal and dream now in life is to play the lead character of the screenplay I wrote. So that's what I'm about now.
And I read it. It's good. I read it. It's really good. Michael, how long have you been in Los Angeles?
I've been in Los Angeles. Well, actually, right now I'm in Minnesota. Fun fact. That's why. I've been in Los Angeles since October. So it's a very difficult time to move anywhere. It's a very difficult time to decide you want to get serious about your career. But it's been working out, you know. You make friends and you make connections and you find work, and work means work. So it's been a lot of fun.
So, well, why move to Los Angeles for you? What was the move for you? Because you want to be in the business, you felt that's the place to go?
Right, exactly. And you know, I grew up in Minnesota. I've had tiny little parts in a couple feature films, but a whole lot of stage experience, just small stuff, small town stuff mainly. And obviously to be more involved with the people who make the magic, you have to go somewhere where you can reach them more easily. Also, it was October in Minnesota.
Time to go. You can only have so many hot dishes and some casseroles, okay? The snow machine's broken, so you gotta go.
Don't you know?
Shamrock shakes.
Right.
Oh, you betcha. Oh, you betcha. Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, I love it. Yes, I've been there. That's so funny. Now I want to ask you about the process. So I followed Casey's lead on Forever and a Day, and I like the idea of creating kind of like almost a set mentality. So we're doing it through Zoom, like this. So folks at home, yes, we're just a little back behind the scenes. You wonder how we do this. It's not that you do your scenes over here and you don't come. No, we do it through Zoom. We're taking Zoom and we extract the audio, and this is how we do it. Somebody's in love with Michael's voice. Okay, is that you or Candace? Somebody's in love with Michael's voice. Okay.
Well, I can turn the camera on.
Michael, like, okay, someone's in love with your voice. Okay, that's what I'm saying, love your voice. Okay, I thought I'd mention that. We do it through Zoom. So how is that process kind of? Do you feel like it's almost like a set? Are we doing our job by trying to create that? And anyone can start in that question. You've all actually recorded, so anybody can go first.
So I was a little bit, again, I didn't know the process of audio dramas because I'm very new to the craft. And I guess I was under the impression that, like, because my friends who are voice actors have like their booth in their studio and they get the little script. And there's usually like a director on a T1 line somewhere being like, no, say it like this. So I was kind of expecting that, more of a one-on-one kind of mentality. And so when it was a Zoom call, I was like, oh man, I don't know. I mean, the compression for audio for Zoom is so different. Like I had all these like technical questions. Like maybe I was overthinking it, but I went there and I was like, oh, I felt like it was good of building chemistry with other people, especially the BSing we do before we go live. That now I can make cues or make jokes or see that things at work, or how would Darrell like banter with his coworkers. But I won't say nervous, but I had a lot of questions going into it. But hey, the final product is out there. So
next person. Anyone?
I think the best part of it was, of not knowing what the format was going to be, and you developing it as you go along, because then you start to know your castmates and the characters, and the lines were already there, so you didn't have to worry about that. It's just whether like the new term in voice acting is like keep it conversational. So you're just you have that conversation with whomever, whichever window is open and whoever you're not on mute with. And I found it kind of easy. That was like the easiest thing for me to do because I don't know a stranger. And James, I think I told you this before. It's like when I met you, it's just like, all right, that dude's pretty cool. This dude's pretty cool. This dude's pretty, and I can interact with them like this. It's like it's kind of like reading the room when you go into any place. Like, whoever has a smile on their face, you can go talk to. Whoever has a frown on their face, sit back in the corner, you might not want to talk to them. Who knows what they're plotting. But when you have a room full of smiling faces like we all do, on Zoom, it's just like everybody's excited because that's why they called, or that's why they got in touch with James, is to do whichever story that you're involved in. So I think it was just one of those things like, all right, let's see how this pans out. It looks like fun, it feels like fun, and and you can sit in your own private space, and I think you feel kind of protected in that way also. You're just looking at a screen. So you don't have somebody sitting next to you, then you don't have to smell the fear, if you will. So you're right there. So go for it.
And Dave's bad. At our Claus The Series cast, he's saying stuff. Luckily, we all love each other on that cast. So, but
right.
You're always saying, it's always stirring up on saying stuff. You always have us laughing. You always have us laughing.
You might as well. I mean, that's why you're there. If you're not having fun, don't do it.
Yes, he's bad. Okay, so let's see. We'll say Quinn, because you've done it the longest, and the cast is the largest. You have the largest cast.
Well,
you're crazy on your show too.
I will say that just like Flobo was saying, that I had so many questions about my own side of it. Like, wait, what do I need? What setup do I need? How much of this of the recording is on me? How much is on everybody else? And I've just been shocked over and over again at how well Casey and Candace and yourself have been able to mix everybody. Everybody has a different setup. So that's really like a feat in itself. But I love the group scenes because I love hanging out with everybody. I love the camaraderie. And every once in a while on the soap opera, we get like a big dramatic group scene. And that's always the best.
Yeah, those are fun.
Put the gun down.
It's fun. And I'll say, so James, we've had some fun on our shows, and we have a crazy storyline going on with two of the characters,
Right.
where she is, which Flobo knows because, okay, so Happiness Carter is on several shows. She plays Talia Arbalest on Mistletoe Road, so she's roommates with Flobo Boyce's character, but she told me she wanted to be creepy. So I said, okay, I have a series for you that you can be creepy. So James, you had a chance to see, Sterling, Scott, and her be this creepy couple that's going down a bad path.
Yeah.
How's this kind of group experience been for you, listening to other actors and stuff?
I can agree with everybody else as far as saying that it's so much fun. Everybody's in a great mood, and you do such a great job of directing us and giving us freedom to, make it our own, as well, as long as we're in the context of the story and, we're driving the story forward. You give us that artistic license to, put our touch in there. So yeah, it's just a great environment. So it's very easy to work. And when you feel comfortable, when you feel, positivity around you, it's just very easy to just jump into it and build chemistry just with everybody else. And I think the funnest part for me is knowing what's coming next in the story. Because like you said, you only give us certain episodes as we go. So I'm like, oh shit, I didn't expect that to happen. So it's always funny, like them two crazy, like Happiness and Sterling. I was like, we started out like a little like a children's kind of storyline, like, oh, this is like fun, kitty, and then it just turned like super dark. I was like, what? Like, is this the same story? Like, what happened?
Yeah,
So
it goes. So if you guys aren't listening to it, this finale was tonight. It goes darker halfway through the season. It does. So yes, it happened that way. She wanted it, and I gave it to her. And Michael, because you're on our first horror series, but so James, you think that's crazy, James? On our show, the first two episodes, the first two sessions we had, I killed 2 people per show. So Michael's had to deal with that. So how's that been? We had some good deaths too. We had some really good deaths. So how's that been for you, Michael?
Yeah, you got talented friends. All your little guest stars, those are fantastic. Just a bam of talent that inspires the rest of us throughout. Because the death happens at the beginning of the episode, so we're all very in the spirit by the time we get into our lines and our roles. As far as the dynamic of, the Zoom thing, the whole cast being there, I think it's phenomenal. I think it's fantastic because you create like the other night here with scenes with Miss Alethea Robbins, and Inspector Peter Cotton. When you can see that person face to face, and you don't, even if it's just through the computer, and you can see everything that they add into it to increase their performance, that very much helps with your immersion. You've got a dialogue like that going, and suddenly you're not in your bedroom or your linen closet or wherever you decided to record. You find yourself in the downtown precinct. You're in the, you're back at the station interviewing this young lady, and it's the chemistry is there over screen, but without the commute to the studio.
Yeah, that's a good thing. I to tell you guys, I mean, and I know Casey can't see a chat room also. I can speak for them too. Hearing people read our words, it's very interesting because, again, I think someone on the panel said this earlier. You just don't know. I mean, I think it was Flobo who said it. You just don't know. You write something, you think it sounds great. You're like, oh my God, I can't wait. And then, it's not good. And you know me, I'll change the scene in a second. I've done it in several shows. I know Claus The Series, I've done it. I was okay. We just change this. If I have to make it sound better. But for me, it's been a very emotional experience for me to actually hear you guys say my words. I'm sure Casey and Cam feel the same way for Forever and a Day. It's weird. It's like I write songs and make the whole world sing. No, I write songs and I do other things, but they're all, for me usually. The songs are for me. I mean, I've written songs for other people too, but mostly they're for me. I'm writing about something that I feel. But to write something that someone else is going to read it and interpret it their way, and it's a very encouraging experience and also a very strange experience at the same time. And I've been pleasantly surprised, all of you guys. I mean, all of you and all of our cast. I mean, I can't believe I have like 7 cast. I mean, we're filming 2 other shows right now too at the same time. Right now, I have like 7 casts of people, and I'm just like, I can't believe it. I really can't believe this. And you guys are all the leaders. The one thing I want to say something about you, Dave, and I said that to you once before. You always, from the very beginning, almost took kind of like a leadership role in our cast. You were very, very encouraging, very just like, you can do this. I was always very impressed with you in the very beginning. I don't know if it's because we're older.
Right, yeah, we just don't care. I mean,
It's the spirit. Yeah,
like going into the scene.
I think that comes from being a father. Like when you see somebody struggling or like they're having difficulties, you're just like, okay, first of all, let's breathe. And then back up, think about what you need to do, look at the words, and I wasn't trying to be condescending or anything. It was just like, and I think that may be part of the military in me as well. I mean, I don't know. It's like, okay, look, I'm not gonna like, I'll hold your hand through this, but it's okay. No. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. Come up with the plan. That's what you're gonna do, and you implement it. That's it. I mean, and then just have fun with it. I mean, shit, we're all here having fun. Just do it. That was my main goal through all of this, and then to make it interesting, make sure you get the image that you want out there, and it's just, that's why we're here, and then there's nobody has $1 million contracts on this. Have fun, it's not.
Well, you guys don't have $1 million contracts? What?
Wait a minute, we need to talk.
I want that Forever and a Day deal. Stat.
Don't tell your business.
Forever and a Day deal.
We call it the fat fad. You know what I'm saying?
Although, Dave, to your point, what I will say is, for me, and I'm not sure if you guys feel the same way, but I just think whatever you throw yourself at, if you're doing it, you might as well do the best you can. Because either if you're getting paid $1 or $1 million, like, who cares? You're doing it. You might as well try your best and give it, your all. So,
sure, still your work. It's still your creation. It's still got your name on it.
That's true. No, that's true, Michael. I like that. All 3 of us, I like that. It is, because there's folks who phone things, and it's like, but it's still representing you. I mean, it's still you. I mean, a lot of critics things will say things like, that shit was horrible, but that guy in that, he was amazing. Like, he was amazing. Like, they may say something's bad, the project's bad, but they'll say, he should be in something like that. You know, you never know who's watching you either. You never know who's watching or listening.
Well, also, like, if you're gonna show up, like we all love storytelling in some way. Like, why wouldn't you? This is an opportunity to do it, and it's like a wonderful opportunity to storytell with other people, and that's an exciting opportunity, no matter what.
Yeah, I agree with that. And there are times, and I've done this on everybody's series, I will laugh at people's takes and ruin them sometimes.
Yeah, everyone.
Myself.
That has never happened, by the way.
Oh, God bless you, Dave Moxley. Yes, I do forget my own words, and I wrote them down myself. I get them wrong. I did on Easter Hare night. I couldn't say a certain line. I couldn't get it out just to save my life. On those show, I couldn't say giddy. I kept saying kitty. Don't know why. I kept saying kitty. That was just really weird. But I say giddy. I wrote it.
Right. Well, at least you know what page you were on. I didn't even know that night, so it was.
Oh, that happens. That happens too. No, okay. So it is. I know. I said I know for me. I know. Casey. We sent a lot of emails out, and it was a little crazy. We tried, but it's the easiest way to do this because we're not on set or anything. We have to do it through email most of the time. And someone's like, "Well, which script is it?" And I try to make it very simple, but it's times, we on the wrong page or the wrong episode, and it happens. It happens. Get words mixed up. It happens. So,
well, Casey's gonna kill me for telling you this story, but I can
tell it.
The first night that Beth Ellers joined us for Forever and a Day, Casey had one line as I think he was like the manager of something, and it was so funny because he just like got so nervous, and it was so beautiful to see him working with like an icon that he loved ever and ever. But like, we've all been there, right? We go into that little white room, you can't get out of it, you don't know what the words are, you don't know how your mouth works, and it was so sweet. And she like talked him through it, and we got there. But it was like really kind of a wonderful icebreaker of Beth coming out of the show.
We've all done it. We've all kind of.
Oh no! I did it. I've done it a bunch of times. Yeah.
Well, some of you guys who do stage, how is that like? Because you're on stage.
That's the worst.
So you and Michael both. Michael, so you've done stage too. I mean, that must be this. You have to just walk through it, right? You can't just stop.
Well, there was one occasion where I was called in to cover. This was a performance where we had scripts in front of us, which, in my opinion, is memorize your lines. But if you're in a live performance. But we had scripts in front of us, and somebody had given me this script that was turned to the wrong page. So I read through a whole passage of the performance that was pages ahead, and I was supposed to be opening. So it really didn't make sense a lot to read. I was like, this is what they told me to go. And I looked up, and after I finished this whole monologue, and the guy across from me was just like, I don't remember how it ended. I think I blanked because I don't remember how we fixed that.
I love it. I do love it. And Quinn, any thoughts on that too? Just
just the worst. It's the worst feeling. That's what I call it, the little white room. You can't get out. You don't know who you are, what day it is. I did a show for 8 years straight, same show every day, 8 times a week. And the four of us, we knew each other so well. Like I could hear it in like an inhale of one of my other cast members, and no, it's over.
Yeah.
Where he is. I don't even have to look at him. He'd be like, and I'd be like, oh gosh. Okay. Whoever's next, say your line because Matt's not making it out.
Oh my god,
it's terrible.
And you guys have all songs too, so you have to remember the songs.
The songs are usually the easier part for some reason because like
and Flobo, you're a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
So same thing.
Yeah, I mean it's a little different that like I don't have other people to work off of, so I always respect theater actors and all that, but there is a bit of the element of the performing for a crowd.
But do you ever forget a joke?
Forgetting a joke all the time, but like it's I don't want to say it doesn't matter because it does matter. When you first start, you rehearse your jokes. And so when you forget one, it's like, oh man, you think of like classically trained jokes, set up punchline. As you get more comfortable, in that art form, it's kind of like jazz. It's like a rhapsody. You can take your time to find something else. You can even say, oh, I forgot that joke, y'all. I'm human. And that is more relatable because comedy's moving into being more relatable as a performer now. So I won't say it's easier, but you have more tools at your disposal. But yeah, forgetting jokes is what I do. Sometimes I go on stage going, I'm going to do my old stuff and try this new joke out and forget the new joke completely. And be like, what was the point of that performance if I know my old stuff works? Dang it, Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Well, you guys, each of you have done a great job on my shows. I'm so excited. Thanks for being part of JLJ Media. I really do mean it. It's helping me define my life. It's affecting my life in many great ways. And I have people who are listening to these shows and not yet Easter Hare yet, but they will be. But the other shows are listening to them and they're just so like happy. They say, this is interesting. This is really interesting. And I can't wait to the next episode. So your performances are all doing really well. And Michael, your performance is good already. So I can't wait for them to hear it. So thank you from me, bottom of my heart. Thank you very much for doing this with me.
Thank you, James.
You're welcome, and thank you for
Well,
the
thanks for
opportunity.
the opportunity.
Yes, I keep mentioning this over and over again. The chat room's just crazy. That Quinn was in the Golden Globe nominated Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
I know. Sorry, I was checking my phone. I just saw that they won. Chadwick won tonight. It's really
Congratulations.
amazing.
It was good. I saw you in it. It was good. And Chadwick, of course.
I look like this. This is where it starts.
You do.
Just a close up of my mouth.
So congratulations to them and to that production, of course. So we'll start with you, Michael. Tell people where they can find you on social media if you want them to say hi to you.
Social media, I mean, Facebook's Micheal Norberg. Instagram is Captain Credo. It's Latin. It means I believe. It's Captain Credo. And
Yay.
I'll stop there.
Okay. Mr. James London, where can they follow you?
On my Instagram, it's James_London07.
Very nice. And Mr. Dave Moxley, where can they follow you?
Well, you can follow us on Facebook at From the Closet. That's Richard and I's podcast. You can follow me on Facebook, Dave Moxley. You can follow me on Instagram. It's at Moxley Dave. And I believe that's all I have going right now. My website I'm still working on. It'll be Dave Mox voiceover soon, but I'm still working on that. So
good.
There you
Lobito, where can they follow you, all your goodness?
You can follow him wherever all James Lott Jr. are sold at. No, I'm just kidding.
My lie.
I'm at Flobo Boyce on Twitter and at Flobito on Instagram. And if you guys want to hear more of my voice work, I'm actually into esports commentary. It's basically like casting. Basically, it's called the action of the game Rocket League. Follow that at Novanta. That's NOVANTARL, which is Italian for the number 90. Novanta RL for all my voiceover casting stuff.
Yay. And Quinn, where can they follow
Flobito
you?
over here pretending he doesn't have the greatest voice in the whole wide world. Terrible.
Yeah.
You can follow me at yasssquinn, and also at I think it's Fad Podcast. We also do have that on Instagram.
Yes, FAAD, the podcast, right?
But yeah, at yasssquinn on Instagram is the best way, and on Twitter at Quinn Van Antwerp.
Amazing.
All of our audio dramas are on JLJ Media, my online network. Anywhere you listen to audio stuff, you can find it. I got it approved, even the Easter Hare. It's all approved. There's a trailer for it out right now. You want to listen to a trailer. It's good. It's all out there. So I'm talking Spotify. I'm talking iHeartRadio, Castbox, Apple, everything. Wherever you listen to stuff, you'll find us. Look either under JLJ Media or look under each of these shows, which are Forever and a Day, Mistletoe Road, Claus The Series, Cupids Crossing, and coming soon, the Easter Hare. And also coming soon, the Grown-Up Adventures of the Tooth Fairy, and another series called Amore. And also I'll be starting casting Manchester Avenue. That's another one we're casting right now too. So we got lots more of that coming, even more than that coming, like 20 productions happening. But go to JLJ Media and listen to these, and they're really good. So listen to it. You might find one you like. Like a lot of good times. And where can you find me? As Flobo started to say this, you can find me where all James Lott Jrs. are sold. I've been saying it for 7 years. At James Lott Jr. on all social media platforms, including TikTok, bitches. I'm on TikTok. I have 3 million views. So follow me there and see what the F I'm talking about. I don't know why. I'm an old guy on TikTok. I don't know why people listen to me.
Give us one of these, James.
What?
Give us one of these.
Yes, exactly. Stop it, bitches. That's right, bitches. Thank everybody for watching, and I'm going to get the women next. So I'm going to the women of my audio dramas next. So stay tuned for that. Everyone, please be safe, be careful, and we'll see you guys next time.